Good morning, everybody. So we're here live on the Crystal Clear Retreats page Sunday morning, and it's nearly Christmas. However, we're here this morning just to talk to you a little bit, myself and JJ fans on. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching this on the live or if you're watching this on a replay. Just really appreciate the fact that you're coming and joining us here and you're taking the time out to come and have a chat with JJ and I. Please feel free to, put any comments in the box. I'll have to look over to have a little look to see if you're here. I'll also check all the comments afterwards. And there's going to be a little bit of a special offer at the end of this. But purely what we're just going to be doing today is just to introduce you to myself and JJ Van Zon. So we are the main facilitators on the Crystal Clear Retreats, and JJ is a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and I am a psychotherapist and coach. So we're going to start just with a little bit about ourselves. So just give JJ a chance to say hi, because I'm like talking loads at the moment. Do you want to say hi, JJ?
Hi. Hello, my name is JJ and I'm a Dutch boy. I live near Amsterdam. And Vanessa and I met, what is it, 2017, I think, in Tuscany.
That's right.
Because my husband and I were hosting a retreat, a business retreat, and Vanessa came there totally clueless about spirituality, actually, in yoga and meditation. And we had a click there. You had an aha moment.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And that's when we clicked, and that was a nice click, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. So cool, yeah. And here we are 2 years later on a live together. Who'd have thought, hey?
I know. And we've done multiple retreats now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're on the 11th retreat coming up. So it's all very exciting, and just wanted to kind of give you a chance to have a little bit to kind of just get to know JJ and I a little bit. So that's why I wanted to tell some of our stories this morning, because we all have difficulties in life, and part of what I do is supporting people to help them to know that actually you can come out the other side, and there are ways. Because my experience was I tried lots of different things, went to different therapists and everything. But once I made a decision that I was really going to focus on myself, things started to change. So let me tell you a little bit. I was very, very shy as a child, totally insecure. And I just put my head into books and kind of avoided interacting with people because I just felt that I wasn't part of other people. I don't know, I just couldn't communicate. I didn't know how to be in this world. And that led to me feeling quite isolated, quite depressed. And I started to medicate that. And I found that if I medicated, so if I had a drink or if I took some amphetamines or something, I would start to feel lively and happy, and I could interact with people. But the problem was that I was self-medicating, and actually the problem was still there with myself. So that kind of progressed on for quite a few years. And eventually in my 30s, I come to the end of it where I was really, really depressed, and I actually wanted to end my life. I didn't want to be here anymore. And I ended up in a rehabilitation centre, and I was there for a whole year, and I had to learn so much about myself. I had to build my self-esteem. I had to start to believe in myself. I had to start to practice ways to change my thinking, because my thinking was so negative. And I know that some of you will relate to this, because if our thinking is negative, then we just feel negative. And that was what was happening to me. I was so pessimistic and so negative all the time. So I had to start to switch that around and get some hope. And obviously, because I kept hitting brick walls in my life, emotionally, in my life, I wasn't able to regress. I did feel very negative. So I had to start giving myself little achievements, excuse me, as I went along. So yeah, and I did that year. And then 3 years after that, I went and trained as a therapist myself, and I trained in cognitive behavior therapy. And since then, I've been working with people, giving them what I've been so like freely given myself, really, just supporting people through their journeys. And 3 years ago, when I met JJ, I was like, yes, I'm going to do retreats, because having worked in residential places myself, with people who were staying in a place trying to get well, residential, being together in a place together really does it. You know, it's you with other people who are like-minded. You really get to concentrate on yourself for those 3 days. And that's what I wanted to do. But to do it in lovely environments. So we always choose places with swimming pools and, you know, with saunas and with beautiful food and lovely bedrooms. And, you know, it's absolute luxury. So I believe as well that we need to be in a good environment to actually really get well and to focus on ourselves, because it's all about bringing in positivity. So that's why I do what I do. I absolutely love it, and I love working with JJ. And we're going to hear a little bit now from JJ about his story, slightly different to mine, but
we've got some connections though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, actually, my story starts before I was born, because 18 months before I was born, my mom and dad lost a 7-year-old son, my little brother that I've never known. So you can imagine that when I was born 18 months later, I was brought up very in a fearful kind of environment. You know, I was always warned, I was always on the lookout for things. So it was very outside in. But thankfully, I always had a feeling I wanted to become a professional dancer. This is something that my crib was already going like this with the rhythm of the music. So there was this urge in me. And basically, that's connection with my talent as a dancer that kind of survived me through all those years. And I managed to hold on to the dream. I went to Amsterdam and studied there at the Dutch Fame Academy, Dance Academy. And I had an amazingly dance career, professional dance career, and flew around the world, being on the biggest stages with biggest artists. And I was living the dream. I really felt connected with my purpose. But then when I was in my mid-30s, something happened. You know, the internet came up. You had all these TV programs like Idols and etc. It just made a whole new it changed the industry. And I was already, yeah, you're 35, and when you're standing there dancing with 20-year-olds who do the popping and the locking and, you know, turning around on their heads, I was turning around on my feet. So I decided it's not fun anymore. I felt the urge to move forward. And so I decided to quit my full-time dance career. And I just got lost into an identity crisis. And because I didn't want to, or didn't know how to deal with these emotions, I turned to addictions. I turned to uppers, downers, whatever. So I didn't have to deal with my emotions. And that lasted for a couple of years. So also what Vanessa just said, at the end, I had thoughts of ending my life because I was so low in self-esteem and all the other stuff. I was just packed in darkness. And there was a moment in that time when I was like, okay, now I'm fed up. I'm really fed up. I'm not going to be this person anymore. And I still remember when that was. It was in October 2011. And I made a vow that in 1 year's time, I would like myself. That was it. 1 year, I would like myself. And basically, that's when stuff happened. It started to happen. And, you know, I'm a spiritual teacher. So if you're not used to the spirituality right now, just go along with me. But the moment when I started to believe in myself, slowly, of course, because it's in baby steps, but I felt my energy change. And because my energy changed, I saw opportunities. I saw good stuff. I saw positive stuff instead of sitting woo-hoo-hoo in that circle of life. I now slowly saw opportunities and I took them. So I also created hope and courage and confidence. So little by little, I became the person that I actually was, which was a very cheerful, happy, dancey JJ. And I got so in awe of this tools that were free for everyone to use. But you know, at school, I was never taught about meditation. I was never taught about loving yourself or how to deal with negativity or how to deal with somebody who is judging you. You know, and so I kind of learned myself how to work with that. And I loved it so much. And as a dancer, of course, yoga was kind of a good connection, good step forward. And yoga introduced me to meditation and meditation, prayer and all that stuff. So I kind of built myself up. And in the end, I was like, okay, I need to go. I need to go to India, to the source, and be taught spirituality by the masters. So I went there, stayed in an ashram. Was really hard at first because you get the rebel in you, in the resistance. But then at the end, you're going into it, and I can honestly say I've never been as close to me as there. So we're doing a retreat, Vanessa and I feel that a retreat is a place where you can let go of all the stuff. You know, you can just have a moment and say, okay, that is at the house, I feel like this, but now I'm here and I'm working on a new me. I'm working on the real me. I want to remember the real me. And you need to do that in a couple of days. So that's why I love doing retreats as a student myself, but also as a teacher, because there's always a transformation. Everyone I saw on the retreats that I organize myself or on the retreats with Vanessa, there's always a transformation. You always plant a seed and you go home and that seed becomes something, it grows into something. And that's just beautiful. Mm-hmm. So after India, because that's a couple of years ago, I work now as a spiritual coach. Of course, I'm a yoga teacher, meditation teacher. I do a lot of stuff online. This is my pride and joy. This year I wrote a book. Yes, yay. It's a Dutch book. Sorry, the English version is not still there yet, but I hope in the future. It's called The Power of Me Time, Spirituality for the Stubborn, because in Dutch we are very stubborn, rebellious. So, and it truly is an inner guide to a life full of happiness. You know, it's all the steps. And on the retreats, I will teach yoga for everyone. So no worries, no anxiety there needed, because everyone can do yoga. Meditation, and I will definitely teach my spiritual in I think in an ongoing way for everyone to pick up. So yeah, I think that's my introduction.
Cool. You know, I liked what you said about the resistance, because I think resistance is part of the journey. In fact, I know it is, because I know how resistant I was, and I was always very stubborn. I was always like, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to sort this out. But asking for help for me was a really, really difficult thing.
Yeah. I think for everyone.
I almost had to get to a really desperate point before I was willing to ask for help. And I almost sometimes want to just say to people, look, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, look, I'm really struggling here. I just want to kind of have some of your suggestions, have some support. Because there's no shame in it, you know. In fact, that's the strength, is to actually ask for help, to get support. That's where the strength is, and that's a stronger person really, who can stand up and go, yeah, hey, put hands up, I'm really struggling here, need some help. But we're all, I mean, you know, you and I are the same. You know, we're my stubbornness still comes in today, and I'm just like, right, I'm going to do this my way, and I still struggle to
but I like stubbornness. I like it. And, it's true. The resistance is, but still, every day I still have resistance. Every day I still struggle. It's just, if it's a good day, I accept the struggle. I allow it to be there, and then it changes. It's like with thinking. If you are not your thoughts. So if you identify yourself with a negative thoughts, you get a negative emotion. That's how it works. But if you are like, oh, I get jealous now because, I don't know, I see somebody with beautiful sneakers and I wish I had them. And instead of being very ugh to that person, you can also like, oh, wow, he's got beautiful sneakers. I want to have them too, but good for him. It's two different choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you're very in the old pattern, or in a pattern that you're jealous, so you're going to be in the negative vibe, then this is the practice. You need to become aware, and you need to allow that jealousy is just an emotion. It's there. There's no bad or no good there, but you can decide differently.
Yeah. And I think that leads really nicely into some of the tips that we've decided we're going to talk about in this live today, because jealousy, I think, is a big thing that can come up sometimes at Christmas when we're around families, or maybe we're somebody who doesn't celebrate Christmas and everybody is celebrating Christmas, and it can be quite a lonely time as well. So I just wanted to kind of give a few tips from my perspective, and JJ, you're going to give some as well. But from my perspective, it's all about preparing yourself for the days. And it's something that I do on a regular basis every day. If I can, I'm not perfect at it, but I try to spend at least 15 minutes when I wake up in the morning, just sitting with myself in a peaceful place. No social media, no radio on, no distractions. And I know that's not easy for everyone. If you've got kids, and it's not easy. I mean, maybe, it's about getting up before the kids get up, but just getting that, or going out for a walk even, and just having that place where there's that peace, somewhere that you feel okay within yourself. And, for me, it's about just sitting and just reflecting and just being with myself and allowing that to happen. So almost just sinking into myself. And one of the things that I talk about is grounding as well. So just really grounding myself, noticing that I'm kind of connected to the floor. I might do some yoga, some yoga exercises. I might then move into a meditation app and do a meditation. So that's really important, setting yourself up for the day. And also just write down, and maybe once you've done that, then just write down your feelings. You can do this at any point during the day. Just start a feelings diary. If it's a particularly difficult period over the Christmas, take yourself away and just get your little diary out and just write down how you're feeling. Just get those feelings out. Don't hold on to them. Don't sit with them. Just write them down, like journal. We call it journaling. And the other thing is share with other people. If you're feeling down, find someone that you trust, or make sure that you make that phone call to somebody that you trust, or arrange to have a coffee with somebody that you trust, someone who will listen to you. And I know that's not easy for everybody, but try and find someone, go and join a group or something, and seek out someone that you can talk to, that you can be real with. You can really talk about your feelings. If you need to see a therapist, go and see a therapist. It's so important to just talk about how you're feeling, and however you are feeling is okay. Don't judge your feelings. Don't think, oh, I should be feeling like this, or I should be happy because everybody else is happy, or I should be singing carols, or I should be enjoying playing party games. You don't have to be anything. You just be who you are. And but find somebody. If you find it difficult to cope, talk to someone about that, because it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be okay as well. So yeah, there's a few sort of just preparations for the day, and also kind of some maintenance of your feelings and thoughts. And if you have a lot of negative thoughts, try and flip them. flip them into something positive. So try and see the positive in some of the negatives. Say, for instance, oh, this is just so terrible, this Christmas thing, or I've got to be here for another whole day. Then think, okay, well, at least I'm going to be home tomorrow, and have something to look forward to. So, see the end in it. Make sure that you're going to treat yourself to what you enjoy the day after if you find it difficult. And give yourself permission to be happy, permission to enjoy things, because I think we can get a bit of a Scrooge on sometimes at Christmas. Oh, I don't like Christmas. Oh, hate Christmas. Everybody, blah, 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 all the traffic, blah, blah. And I've even been in that place. I had a bit of all the traffic thing a couple of days ago, and I noticed myself moaning about it all the time, and actually it was making me feel horrible. And I thought, okay, I can't do much about this. I need to get to where I need to get to. Everybody's out. It is what it is. And just trying to flip that into a more positive. I'll be home later on soon and start thinking about, okay, well, I'm going to have a nice meal this evening, or I'm going to go and see somebody this evening. So just kind of trying to flip and not get stuck in that negative thinking, because that can really drag you down. Okay, so a few things there. I'm going to hand over to JJ now, because he's going to give you some tips from his perspective. It's a little bit more of kind of what you're going to do when you're actually there in the moment of being with people.
Yeah, I like those tips, because of course the tips that you're saying are totally about me time, where I wrote a whole book about. Just to reflect on what you just said, the morning moment, even if you said 15 minutes, but it could also be 2 or 5 minutes if you've got the time. Just have a moment without distractions, and just look at you and tell yourself, oh my God, today is going to be a beautiful day. Even if you don't mean it, if you say it out loud enough, it's going to resonate with you. So that's what I wanted to say about that. It's beautiful. Start the morning fresh. What I have as a tip is something that I experience a lot. If you're going out for a group of friends, or you're going to your family on the Christmas days for the festive, the food, or on the table, or whatever, there's always an uncle, there's always an aunt or a niece or a cousin, whatever, that's going to bug you. And because they're your friends, they're your family. Sometimes there's just one in the bunch that annoys you and that you don't have that connection with. Or, well, I have a moment, a method actually, that you can immediately apply when someone is annoying you, or you feel getting an emotion and you want to lash out. Or you want to go introvert. That's also the other side. You want to shut down and move. And I call that my stop method, and which is basically creating patience. Because patience, you want that superpower, because it's a superpower. And in that moment, you want to create patience. So stop. You slow down, and you become aware of that moment. If that means that you are silent for a moment and you don't respond right away, awesome. Just hold your mouth. Yes, that's the English word, right? Just don't speak. Slow down and become aware of the situation. Then you're going to take a breath, even if 3 slow and deep breaths. Yes. And if you need to walk away for this to the toilet, do it. And when you come back, you go on. You observe the emotion. What emotion are you feeling? So you go in yourself. You're going to really observe what is going in you. And you stop, you be unapologetic about that. You don't care what other people think of you right then, because it's all about you and how you're going to respond. Yes, and you don't want to lash out. You don't want to make it worse. So you observe the emotion, and you just, where is it coming from? What emotion is this? Is this me, or am I just want to stay in this momentum of my uncle or of that other person? And then in the end, you power up, because there's some courage there, and you choose again. So this means that you kind of have to connect with your heart, as I say it, leave the head away and connect from an authentic place. And then you respond in a nice way. If that means that your head is telling you, oh yeah, but now you're a weak person, you cannot forgive that person, then this is your head. You don't listen to your head, you listen to your heart. And if somebody is not nice to you in a Christmassy event, that doesn't mean that you need to be not nice to that person. You can be nice to that person. And slow down and take a breather will give you the space to have that patience. And the more you do that, the more patience, the more easily it will become, and the less impatient you get. So see Christmas as an awesome practice for you. Yes. So what Vanessa was saying, oh God, I have to be in the car with the traffic and whatever. But look to this Christmas as a platform for you. It's your stage, it's your rehearsal, yes? And then make it fun. And then you're sitting there with a totally different energy. And I can assure you that then Christmas is a trillion times more fun, because you're in a different frequency. You're in a higher energy, actually.
Yeah.
So slow down, take a breath, observe the emotion, and then power up and choose again. Stop.
I love that. I love that. It's all about just being mindful. So stopping, being mindful, and then choosing differently. That's just brilliant, because it can be so simple, but it's when we don't think about what we're doing and we're just there in the moment, just living it, that's when we get lost in it. But actually just taking that space away, as you say, even if we have to go to the bathroom to do that, and just taking that, okay, what's going on here? Observe what's going on. What's happening to me here? Like a bit of a bird's eye view, really. It's like looking down on yourself. What's going on with me here?
Yeah. But also sometimes you have to, if you're in a conversation with a group and somebody says something that offends you, you want to defend yourself immediately, or you want to respond immediately. But also at that point, you can just slow down, have that moment. And even if you feel like, ooh, I need some more time, just stand up, no reaction, and just walk away. And maybe for people that will be weird, but you don't care, because you're unapologetic, because you want to respond authentically. Oh, that's a difficult word for me.
That's okay. I think we know what you mean.
Cool.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
We've been on for quite a while. I just want to say a thank you to those of you that have joined or are here at the moment, or if you're watching this on the live, thank you for staying with us for this point. If you could just stay for a couple of minutes, it'd be really great. I just want to tell you about the next retreat, which is the 27th to the 29th of January at the amazing Brooklands Barn in West Sussex. It's fantastic in the winter down there, because we have a big fire that we get burning, and we all get cozy around that in the evening and chat and socialise. And it's all like-minded people who kind of struggling with anxiety, depression, or just feel that they've been a bit low and they just need a boost. So we have 3 days. We have yoga, meditation.
There's a whole yoga studio, by the way. There's a whole yoga studio. There's a massage studio. There's oh my god, sauna, pool.
It's the business. It really is. And the food is gorgeous as well. And we do lots of kind of self-development workshops. Myself and another lady, Lorna, who comes along, and JJ does his meditation and yoga sessions, and there's mindfulness meditation. Lorna is really hot on her mindfulness, so she'll take you through some mindfulness, and I know it's kind of a buzzword at the moment, but it really works. Really great form of meditation. And we talk about, I do some cognitive behavior therapy stuff, so it's like channeling those thoughts, looking at how you can change some of those thoughts to more functional thoughts, looking at why you get overwhelmed. So there's lots and lots to experience, but also a lot of downtime. It's real time away for you to feel in control again, to power up, you know, to access that superpower that JJ is talking about, because we all have them inside us. We all have our own superpower, and just being away for 3 days in a space where people are not going to judge you will help you to find your own power within yourself and make 2020 a better year or a brilliant year. You know, whatever you want, that intention that you set, you say, right, I've had enough now. 2020, it's going to be different. I can assure you that this would be the best decision that you make for 2020, to come and join us for the 3 days, to give yourself that template of how you're going to go forward, even for the next decade, you know, because we're at the beginning of a new decade. And I mean, I'm certainly setting some new goals for myself, as, you know, what I'm kind of taking forward. So if you are interested, and if you come have a call with me, my email is on this screen, actually, vanessa@crystalclearcoaching.org. So please just send me an email or pop me over a message on the messenger on the page, and we'll set up a call to have a chat about it, see what your needs are. But also, if you come through this route and you say that I watched the live with you and JJ and I heard your offer at the end, I will give you 2 free sessions prior to the retreat. So that's in addition to anything that we put into your package. So you'll get those 2 extra bonus one-to-one sessions with myself to help you, to support you before the retreat. So that could be before Christmas, we've still got a couple of weeks, or in the weeks before, just after the new year. So you'll get that support from now, basically. So yeah, if you're interested at all, if you just want to find out a little bit more, just pop me over a message, vanessa@crystalclearcoaching.org, or send me a message on the page via the messenger. And thank you again for joining us today on this live. Really enjoyed it, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
And a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah, and a wonderful Christmas, or rest of your day, whatever you're watching this. You know, just have a nice time after this. Do you want to say anything else, JJ?
I can't wait to see you in January in Arundel, so we can watch the castle together.
Oh gosh, yeah, because it will be lit up for the evening.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you want to join, if you feel called for, if you need a way to upgrade your life, you know, a life should be happy. It shouldn't be all negative. And if you feel if you feel down or blue a lot, then come to the retreat, because we'll give you the tools to have less of that time and more joyful times, which is truly the way you should live. The universe needs you to be joyful, to be happy. Yes. So let's make that happen.
Absolutely. I love that. The universe needs you.
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't have been created.
Yeah. Okay, what a lovely note to end on. Okay, so I'll say bye everyone, take care, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Ciao.
Okay, bye.
Bye.